Hello. Today we're gonna fill this hat with, what's it called? Woven filling stitch. This is why I have notes nearby. Okay, so I'm using, what am I using? 3-ply. Yes, I am using 3-ply. When I did this before, here's a little look at when I tried to do it before. I used 6, which is fine. I just thought it was awfully clunky, so I'm gonna just use 3 this time. It still looks good, but I think it'll look more realistic, like the fewer strands you use. But I'm not willing to use like 1 or 2 strands. So, okay, so I'm just gonna show you how to fill this top part. It's up to you if you just want to jump in there and start making some horizontal lines, or if you want to use like a pencil and write them in for yourself ahead of time. Have something to go off of. So as far as like how far apart to make these lines, I think you want the distance to be about the thickness of what you're working with. So in my case, since I'm using 3-ply, I want my lines across to be about 3-ply apart. I don't know. I just made that up. I think you can, if you want, you can use your like scrap hoop fabric, your sketch pad, and try like just tiny little squares playing with the distance between these lines to see what works best. It's going to be like a different look. Like if you make them really far apart, you're going to have some of the fabric showing through underneath, which might be exactly what you were going for. So keep that in mind, that it might look different depending on what shape you're filling, what you're trying to create. So I did start in the center, if you notice that first line, and that was to kind of help guide me on either side. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to come up in the center, and my goal is to get down and go back down here, but I'm going to weave my way there. So I'm going to go over and then under and over and under, like so. All right, I feel like I have a tension situation happening here. This is not looking right. I think it's okay. All right, my tension's fine as it turns out. All right, go down here. And then you can decide if you want to then head one to the right or one to the left. I think I'm going to go to the right. And I don't know. Am I coming up right next to it? Or leaving a gap? I mean, I left a gap before. I think I need to come up right next to it so I don't have any fabric showing through. All right, so under this time and then over. Under. Oof. Okay. And if you want, at this point, like before you go back down, to kind of tease your thread, get it to be where you want it to be, it's gonna kind of take care of itself as you get more of these vertical stitches here. It's gonna kind of push everything towards the center. So here we go, the opposite. This one will look like the first one. Oops. Again, I'm using my finger from behind to help push up where I'm working to hopefully keep me from actually stabbing my fabric until I want to. So here I'm kind of at the edge of this top horizontal line, but I'm still going to try to go under it. This teeny tiny little piece here, maybe. Push this over a little bit. I feel like if I weren't filming, I'd be making a lot of grunting noises while doing this. It's tricky, right? and then over. Oh, and then this is an under. There's barely any of this here, but I'm still gonna kind of go down under it if I can. All right, that was under, so now we're over the top one, but we're kind of out of the top one. I'm still going to start here just because there's a little bit of guideline I need to cover. Under, over, under, and then down. What would have happened if I had made my initial horizontal guidelines closer? I feel like it would have been harder. And I think this looks okay. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna do the top, and then I'm doing the bottom as like a separate shape to fill, but with the same stitch. Oh, my eyes. My glass is off. Here we go. I'm like right at bifocal stage, and I'm just not. I'm not ready. I'm working through that. Sorry if my loose fabric is making you anxious. It's making me a little anxious. It's like, oh, why is it so floppy? But for something like this, it actually helps to have a little bit of give. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the other side and continue. I don't think it would hurt to like check as you're going to make sure your tension's okay and you're not puckering your fabric if you're doing what I'm doing and have this kind of like loose situation with your fabric. So I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you. I'm gonna finish it up, and I think it might be cute if you want to add more details is to make like a little bow or just like a band, like a ribbon band with another color, or even add like flowers to your hat. Well, maybe I'll do that. That sounds super cute. So you'll have to see tomorrow what I ended up doing. If I still have any energy left after this. All right, well, have fun. Enjoy your hats.